We just had our lunch. Very rough.
Hello Makati, hello world. This is Attorney Angel and I'm your legal angel. Hi my fellow angels. I hope you are all doing well. This is the third consecutive week that I'm sharing with you this vlog on learning, specifically my audio recording in legal writing last year. This time on writing legal opinions. So let's start. One point to remember is that the qualities of good writing are essential to writing a successful legal opinion, such that all of our lessons, all of those that we discussed and that we tackled, will come into play in writing a legal opinion and in quality writing of legal opinions. And that is the primary purpose of a legal opinion. And also, please remember that it is a form or a means of communication, communicating to either the lay or professional client, so that it is of utmost importance that you not only remember but also apply in your writing clear and plain understandable English. So here are some of the tips that I have. Avoid archaic language and too much legalese, okay? Because too much use of legalese will create a barrier between you and your client, and it will divert the main purpose of the legal opinion, okay? Which is to communicate, as I said, with either a lay or a professional client. Your client needs to understand your point and what you are discussing and what you are giving your client with respect to your legal opinion. And but this does not mean that you should oversimplify your legal opinion. It is important that you say it or write it in the clearest way possible, and you avoid unnecessary verbosity. Okay? Sometimes you will really need to use legal jargon or some technical terms because they do not have any equivalent in the plain English language or in the vernacular. Okay? So these technical terms or legal jargons will be used if they carry the precise meaning of your opinion or the advice that you want to deliver or communicate to your client. And in times of, in cases or in times like these, you do not shy away from using these legal terms or legal jargons or technical terms, but do not overdo it. Okay? And also, of course, we go to the basic subject-verb agreement, correct grammar, punctuation, precision of language. All of these are essential to your writing, writing of legal opinions. Okay? So again, as we learned in the principles of good writing or principles of legal writing, clarity. Okay? And this can only be achieved through planning, careful planning and thought. So a thorough plan will lead you to a logical structure. So that's why I asked you in your process whether you write your outline or you have a mind map. Because although there is no straight line or definite structure, you must have something. You must have something to work on. And also, any legal opinion will be conveying a particular point. But that point will inevitably need to be broken down into sections. That's why this is important. And it's like piecing the pieces of the puzzle together and arriving at a big picture. So each section will culminate in an opinion, and each opinion must be fully explained and justified when you write your legal opinion. And of course, completeness and total accuracy are vital, and conciseness should not come above giving full and precise opinion or advice. Okay? We have to be clear, we have to be concise, but being concise does not mean that you have to shorten or you have to give incomplete legal advice. Make sure that if it is concise, as what I said, It's long enough to cover everything and short enough to be interesting. A request for a legal opinion will usually come in written form, and it will also come with attached documents or annexes with respect to or involving the case of your client. And also, it may include one or a number of questions which your client is asking for your legal opinion or your legal advice, and which you are being asked to address. So, there will also be an overarching question, sort of an umbrella question, which will summarize all of the questions of your client. And in addressing this with your legal opinion, you must approach it with honesty and directness. And also, if you think there is something which can be done to improve the prospects of success of the case of your client, you have to spell this out precisely. And one way of achieving clarity and being able to cover everything which your client wants to address is for you to have numbered action points. Okay? And you can also lay out the pros and cons of the particular course of action. But remember that you always have to come down on one side or the other. Okay? And also, in drafting your legal opinion, you can split it into two processes, the thinking process and the writing process. Let's go first to the thinking process. The thinking process is also the planning stage. So, the first step is to organize your facts. Okay. So, in organizing the facts, always remember that you have to be able to screen or to filter relevant and pertinent facts, meaning to say those facts which are relevant to the case, which are helpful to the case, and which are related to the case and its outcome, and which are the facts which are not relevant and pertinent to the case. Okay? So, organize your facts and focus on the relevant and pertinent facts. Okay? It will also help if you have a timeline of the facts or a chronology, so you have a starting point or you know the flow of events in the case given. Okay. Once you have the facts at your fingertips, another one which will be helpful to you is to devise a framework, a legal framework. Construct a legal framework into which you can slot in or insert these facts logically. Okay? And then also, you have to think about what should be done next. Okay? And this is done, of course, in the thinking process or the planning stage. And you should also bear in mind that throughout your thinking process, throughout your planning stage, there may be points that may be raised by the opposing parties. So you also have to think about how to address these points because these are evidential issues. And it will be useless if you only look at your client's case in isolation. So always remember that evidential issues must also be considered. And last but not the least, in the thinking process or planning stage, before you begin writing your legal opinion, you have to answer 3 questions. What opinion or advice you are going to give. Number 2, why you are giving it. And number 3, how you are going to present it. Okay. So in organizing the facts, always remember that you have to be able to screen or to filter relevant and pertinent facts, meaning to say those facts which are relevant to the case, which are helpful to the case, and which are related to the case and its outcome. and which are the facts which are not relevant and pertinent to the case. Okay? So, organize your facts and focus on the relevant and pertinent facts. Okay? It will also help if you have a timeline of the facts or a chronology, so you have a starting point or you know the flow of events in the case given. Okay. Once you have the facts at your fingertips, another one which will be helpful to you is to devise a framework, a legal framework. Construct a legal framework into which you can slot in or insert these facts logically. Okay? And then also, you have to think about what should be done next. Okay? And this is done, of course, in the thinking process or the planning stage. And you should also bear in mind that throughout your thinking process, throughout your planning stage, there may be points that may be raised by the opposing parties. So you also have to think about how to address these points because these are evidential issues. And it will be useless if you only look at your client's case in isolation. So always remember that evidential issues must also be considered. And last but not the least, in the thinking process or planning stage, before you begin writing your legal opinion, you have to answer 3 questions. What opinion or advice you are going to give. Number 2, why you are giving it. And number 3, how you are going to present it. And of course, the writing process. So in the writing process, follow the format provided for either by your professor or the format of your law firm or your law office. And of course, there should be a structure. As I said, you have to have your outline or your mind map. And in the format, of course, you have to put the title that it is a legal opinion, and you can also put the title of the case of your client if applicable. Okay? And for those who have no outline or no particular format or structure, this can help you. Like for example, in the first paragraph, you set it out as your introduction. Then, you lay out the salient facts of the case or the pertinent and relevant facts of the case, as we said. And then, following paragraph, you can put there what you have been asked to opine about or what you have been asked to advise about. And then, in the subsequent paragraphs, set out your reasons for reaching the legal opinion that you have. And then, of course, your legal structure will come in because as we said, you have to put the issues one by one, answer the issues one by one in logical order. Okay, like putting the puzzle pieces together. And each section should include your opinion on that issue and give your reasons for it. And of course, it can only be strengthened by putting and including your legal basis. Okay. And in your concluding paragraphs, you should or you ought to put the next steps. Okay. You write there what are the next steps you are advising or you are instructing your clients, or what needs to be done to strengthen your client's case. And since you are writing a legal opinion, of course, you must have your legal basis. You must include your legal basis. It is a sine qua non requirement. Legal basis is a sine qua non requirement without which you cannot call it a legal opinion. It's just an opinion. Okay? So, legal opinion, you must have your legal basis. And put into play what you have learned in legal research by citing your authorities. You cite the provision of the law, you cite your statute, you cite the decision of the Supreme Court. And in citing the decision of the Supreme Court, it may be appropriate to quote directly from the judgment or the decision of the Supreme Court. So you will be sure that these are the exact words of the highest court of the land, and that you do not have the mistake of misinterpreting or putting your own words and having a wrong interpretation of the judgment or the decision of the Supreme Court. Okay, so remember that your legal basis is the backbone of your legal opinion. And that is the last topic on this audio recording. Thank you very much, and stay safe, stay well. So of course, you know that the next activity will be about writing your legal opinion. Thank you very much. God bless all of you. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. Thank you very much. Be kind, be a blessing to others, and always glorify God with a grateful heart. This is Attorney Angel, and I'm your legal angel.